So there's lots of that happens on set that a lot of people don't know about. They don't understand the business. But the Justin Baldoni or Baldoni, I know everybody's telling me I'm saying it wrong, so I'm trying my best. Baldoni, guys. And the Blake Lively case is heating up some more. And I know people are like, "Oh, this is never going to happen," but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And it's not till next year, which I think that case is insane that it's that far in the future. But what this comes down to is like being safe on set and being comfortable on set. And there's a lot of stuff going on right now in the business where we're talking about, intimacy coordinators coming on set and being a bigger part of the business. So actors feel safe. And so that, someone doesn't go too far. I worked on a production one time. I'm not going to give names, but there was an actor. And she was doing a scene where she's kissing a guy she wants to be with for the first time, right? And what happens is the actor goes too far and he starts choking her as he starts making out with her. And she freaks out because she's not even expecting this. And she's being choked while this is happening. They say cut. She screams. She yells. And it's like a whole thing. She's like, we didn't talk about this. Like, I was in character. These things arise. And that's why intimacy coordinators come around. And so when we have situations where people are saying they were harassed, that's why these people are here. Then they were supposed to have these on set. They said that Blake Lively turned these away. But now she's still saying that she didn't get them. And she's also calling harassment. But now Talia Spencer has come forward. Now, crew have been coming forward about this. But Talia Spencer, a female crew member who was the storyboard artist for the production of their movie. So she came forward to say she did an interview. It's like 60 Minutes Australia, which I think is interesting, right? And she's like talking about Baldoni and talking about their situation, their interactions. And she said on there that she feels that he's one of the few directors she's worked with out of all of her years in the business that was actually kind and respectful. And she feels like Blake smelled his kindness, mistook it for weakness, and then tried to take advantage of him and take that power from the production. And then when she was actually talking about an interview, she said she felt Lively tried to take control of the movie the whole time. That's what she saw. And she said she thinks she tried. Yes, she thinks she tried. And it was a massive compromise that he had to do constantly because of her from his original vision of the film. And it hurt that, she kept saying, because his idea, again, the one thing about this film, they have not dropped this queen. No, it's not getting dropped. It's going to go to court next year, but it's just going to keep going. It's just going to keep building. But the one thing that she said that was really, really hard for her to believe, and a lot of people actually coming forward for these allegations, was that his mission for this movie, his mission statement was, he was trying to do a film that genuinely pitched abuse and talked about abuse and how that hurt people and affected young women and how women can get help in abusive situations. And that was what the whole case and the whole ideology of the movie was. And the fact that she's screaming harassment and abuse during this whole thing was not right, because his whole thing was to pitch something to make people aware and to actually bring it to the table and talk about it and fix the situation and to have a voice in the crowd for this. And so again, these are he said, she says, all of that, but as more stuff is stacking up, it just makes me intrigued, because I know how it is on set sometimes. If you're directing and acting in a scene, maybe someone takes it the wrong way, maybe things are misconstrued, but when you actually hear these statements come forward from wardrobe, producers, storyboard artists now, fellow actors against her, it's hard, guys. And this is why I think this has to go to court. And this is why I think it needs to happen, because harassment has been a problem on set. We start Harvey Weinstein back then. That wasn't even on set, guys. That was like in a hotel room taking advantage of people. That's where it started. And it's gone on for years. I tell you about it. I've heard it on set before. I've heard it about different actors. And you know what? And it sucks. This is a job. This is supposed to be a professional environment. It's supposed to be safe. And that's why we have intimacy coordinators now. Some people hate them. Some people love them. I think they're a factor to help us feel safe so we can do our jobs and get rid of these fucking snakes in the grass so we can take care of ourselves and do our jobs to the best of our performance and do it safely and do it right without having to be fucking harassed. And that's where it comes down to. And I think this has to go to trial. And I love when people come forward and talk about this. And I think it's right. More people need to come forward and talk about this case so we actually get to the bottom of this. And I think it's weird, guys, that she wants to drop it. You know what I mean? That she wants to drop it seems weird because I talked to some people about this too. They're like, I've been talking about people on set about this. It's like, if she's harassed, right? Wouldn't you want that harasser to go down so they never do it to somebody else? Why are you trying to throw the case out? Why are you trying to throw the case out? What do you think, Ronald? Do you hear about that? He's trying to throw the case out. More crew members are coming forward. Now, again, storyboard artists, they're not there all the time. I will say that. Some people will probably come after me about that. They're not always there. So when I heard this, I said, okay, they could be there on set to do tweaks, changes. That happens, But for the most part, it's a lot of one-on-one interaction before you get to set, pre-production, production, and that's kind of what they come into. So they have those storyboards in the day. Sometimes they do tweaks. For the most part, it's pre-production. Do you take this person, her opinion of him with a lot of weight, or do you think that maybe this is something that won't really help or hurt his or her cause in the court of law?
I mean, we took it with so much weight at the beginning, and then it just started falling apart. I personally don't think there's any credibility with her and Ryan at this point. And I think that they're probably getting wind of that as well and like cutting their losses or trying to cut their losses.
Yeah, I think they are too. And Countess says too, it's a garbage movie. The director isn't working again. Well, that's what he's fighting for right now too, because he isn't working anymore. Like the way this is right now, he lost like 3 movies. The Pac-Man movie was one. I keep saying that. I know. I just love Pac-Man, but I'm like, how do you do a fucking Pac-Man movie unless it's going to be like
what she did?
CG?
She did all this, man.
Yeah, maybe we didn't need that Pac-Man movie.
Her and her husband, Ron. Don't forget that.
Yeah, that's just pure evil.
Which is what Ronald, they also said too, is like she was saying that about, I kept hearing more and more about Ryan Reynolds coming in here and really controlling the narrative of the film too, and like almost as if he was directing as well. And that sucks. I've been a lover of Ryan Reynolds. I love him as Deadpool, I think he's fucking hilarious. When I hear about this, it just sucks. It just feels like dirty politics on set, which isn't needed. It's not needed. It does. Do you think that this is going to shine any kind of light on the business though, if they actually go to court?
Shining the light how?
Into this harassment situations and people being hurt, and will it fix anything or change anything?
No, I think it's just a manipulative game. I really do. I mean, the why me thing, that movement was necessary. This is frivolous.
Yeah, Rosie O'Donnell for the role of Miss Pac-Man. There you go, Mrs. Pac-Man.
That would be great. That would be great.
As long as we get John Goodman to be Pac-Man, I'm down for that. Let's go.
Yes, that would be
great. Do you see any, like, honestly? Do you see any, like? I know Queen's saying, people are saying it'll be thrown out. Do you think it goes to court?
I'm 50-50 on that.
I feel like it's got to go after all this.
I know you would think, but I'm 50-50 on that.
Okay, well, we're going to have to wait and find out. But I feel, because, again, if they're trying that hard to throw it out, it makes you wonder who's going to win at the end. Who's going to get it?
Right.
Who's going to get it?
Exactly.
There's a reason for that, though, Brian.
What's that?
$400 million or whatever the hell it is.
$400 million.
And they know they're going to get... bottom line is they were all gung-ho until all of a sudden other people besides Baldoni came out and said, she's full of shit. It didn't happen. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, let's get that out of here. And her and her husband tried to take control of the movie, and that didn't work. And now they're butts on the line. And I don't care. He won't get $400 million, but he can get $200 or $300 million.
I don't even know if he'll get. I don't know if he'll get that even. I guess I feel like this is just something where it should never gotten to this. It's like dirty laundry. You know what I mean? It's like it was probably like a he said, she said. Maybe they had some bad business that happened. That's what some like bad business, dirty laundry.
You and I talked about what I think really happened. We can't talk about that here.
Yeah, I mean we don't really. I
don't want a defamation lawsuit going against me.
Yeah, we don't. No one needs that, and I think that they need to have their. I mean, for me, like look at the Johnny Depp thing. It was like Johnny Depp wanted his day in court just to clarify everything and put it out there and prove his innocence, which I think that's what she would want. You know what I mean? Or he would want if whoever's innocent here. I really think this is a bad, toxic thing that happened between the two of them. I hear good things and bad things about both of them. GR, do you think this is going to go to court?
Yes.
You see it happening. And do you see it being any kind of big news?
Oh, it's going to make... I don't think it's about harassment so much. This is about people trying to take control of something, but then they don't have a right, so they made shit up. And
that's what I wonder.
Whether or not what I told you off camera happened, which I believe it did, And
They're coming
that's
for
what
you,
got
GR.
the husband. Pardon me?
The cops are coming for you.
It's all right. They have been for years. But that's what I think. I think the husband got involved because he was pissed off with what was going on, and he tried to take control, and it didn't work.
It's a wild thing because she doesn't really work. She works, but this is like a first big thing she's had in a while, right? And to me, it's like,
Well,
I don't know if that's the perspective of like coming back from having children. You're trying to really, control it so you look a certain. I don't know, but actors always worry about how they look. It's just what it is.
well, she's has a reputation of being a bitch on set. I forgot the only word I can think of.
Yeah, I've heard that too. We've heard that. We've heard that a bunch. I just think
this time,
nasty.
whatever she did is backfiring on her, and she doesn't know what to do with it.
I just think it's just it's crazy because again, Ryan Reynolds has like this big pull in Hollywood. So if anybody could maybe have it disappear, it would be him. Valarie, what do you think? Again, I always like to be like, okay, I hear someone saying they're harassed. I want to know information. I want to stand up for that person. Now, Amber Heard was the first time where I was kind of like, oh, this is just a horrible relationship. Like, I don't believe, I just feel like they're both toxic. And I feel like she's lying a lot. And it just felt bad. This is the second time I've ever felt that way. Because before I'm like, oh shit, how much is she lying about and changing it? How much is he changing it? And Amber Heard thing was a big thing in Hollywood. I mean, it made a lot of YouTubers too covering it. Do you think this can be like that? And do you think that this storyboard artist will have any kind of say to shift the dynamic and the narrative moving forward?
I do. I think whatever this person has to say, it will shift in one direction or the other. I really, really do. I mean, at this point, what I find so complicated about this situation in particular, and, cases like Amber Heard or I can't think of another example along the lines at the moment, but it certainly doesn't help the case of other people who are in bad situations, other people who are being abused or harassed. It just fuels the fire of people who say like, you're just coming after that person, false allegations. It makes everything much more complicated. I believe it's really, really ridiculous. It's kind of like, it's like how people just hate Courtney Love so much. It kind of feels like that.
They love to hate her. Mm-hmm. They love to hate her. I don't hate her, but I still think she killed Kurt Cobain. That's just me.
It's like, it's that kind of a situation where you have a very polarizing woman who people already probably don't have very high opinions of. Yeah, it's tough. It's very tough.
I should say, I think she put a hit out on Kurt Cobain. These are all allegations. I'm not saying anything. But
I have watched that documentary. They're like the filmmakers like go to some random guy's house and they're like, "So you're the hitman?" And he's like through a chain link fence, like, "No." It's so weird.
Well, there's a lot of weird inconsistencies. The fact that it was locked from the outside, and also that he had his shoes on and he couldn't physically pull the trigger unless you had your toes, using your toes, and he couldn't with his shoes on. So there's some weird inconsistencies like that. But I don't know. Who knows? He also had Crohn's disease, which I have, and I know at that point there was no medication like I have, and he was suffering a lot. So I can't even imagine. I kind of know his struggle, what he was dealing with, but except I know like not having medication, how bad that could be and the pain you're going through. So, you're numbing yourself with drugs. Who knows what could have happened, at the end of the day.
Right.
It's sad.
It is. And you see, I mean, obviously this is not the same kind of situation as like, Kurt Cobain's unfortunate passing, but like, this is the same thing where you have very, very famous people and a very nuanced situation. And he said, she said, and like, we don't know, but everybody knows that they don't like her and he's weird and it's a whole thing and it mirrors the movie. It's like, oh my God. Yeah. There's just so much.
it almost feels like it's happening to promote the movie. I know people were saying that before, like they're using it to add promotion so people watch the freaking movie and bust it up on Netflix's top 10. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I see Ronald laughing. Ronald, do you think there's any world where it could be that still?
I mean, I do. I really do. I mean, this is really going far. Really going far. But yeah, you know, it could happen.
I mean, if it all gets dropped, then I'm like, that was a promotional thing. You
Absolutely,
know?
absolutely. Yeah.
Then I would believe that. And we're all talking about them and we're excited. And then they'll do their next movie together. I'm like, oh, they're doing a movie together. You know? They're doing Pac-Man. And she's playing Miss Pac-Man. And Ryan Reynolds is Pac-Man. And,
Oh my God.
Mr. Mint Mobile.
Yeah, Mr. Mint Mobile. I love those Mint Mobile ads.
I have Mint Mobile. It's great.
Do you really? Is it good?
Yeah. I've had it for like 5 years.
That's nice.
Really? The more you know. The more you know.
360 a year for unlimited everything. 360 a year.
Word.
A year?
A year.
What? Well, there you go. You get the latest phones and stuff too. You can get anything you want.
They just started selling phones. They didn't before, and they don't have any brick or mortar. It's all online.
Wow.
That's how you keep it cheap, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to Ryan Reynolds and Mint Mobile.
Oh my gosh. I have no reason to make fun of Mint Mobile anymore. That's wild.
Oh.
I just think it's the Mint Mobiles. They have some good ads. They're just trying to help money and save money for people. It's good. And that's why I'm like, I laugh my ass off at Ryan Reynolds, everything he does. I enjoy it. And that's why it just saddens me if any of these things are true, which again, we don't know. We can have a strong opinion because of this online media force that's swaying us one way or the other way, and that keeps happening. That's just the interwebs. That's just how it works, right? It's like GR could say something, and then all of a sudden people believe that unicorns exist. You know what I mean? And that can happen, right, GR? You've said things before, and it changes everybody's perspective. Oh, we can't hear you, GR. I don't know why. I think you're muted. So I think did GR mute himself? He must have muted himself. But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I did. I apologize. I was coughing and I didn't want to do it over the air.
But that's the whole thing about this. Appreciate that, GR. Honestly, we'll see. Here's the one thing I'll say one more time about this. Storyboard artists, not on set all the time, so probably not seeing the inner workings of the actual production. Now, they've had some other crew members come forward, of course, and actors, but those are again like the one knew Baldoni before. Can you believe that person? Do you not believe that person? They worked on set before. Again, it's he said, she said, until you get like gaffers, like a key grip, a DP, you know what I mean? A camera, B op, you know what I mean? You bring any people like that into it and they're saying it, then that's really going to have some levity to this conversation. But we don't have that right now. Those people are staying out of the narrative and they're keeping that distance for probably a reason. And you know what? We'll find out as it moves forward. And again, I still can't believe it's like a year away for this. Like it's a little bit less than a year, but why do you put it's like March 2026? It's like, that's what is this, an Avengers movie? Like, what are we doing? It doesn't make any sense to me. But we'll find out, guys, soon. But the information keeps coming in. We'll keep you posted. Do you think this sways the narrative at all? Do you believe it? Do you not? Unicorns do exist. Maybe they don't. Let me know, guys. I'm very, very enthralled with that. I very am.
Yo, player, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And if you are able to join our Patreon, please join. Because the Pepestar needs more snickety snacks. Because I'm hungry. Holla back. Love y'all.